Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This video I want to show you a beautiful game played in the year 1962. This game was played by a strong attacking player as at that time, Rashid Nezhmetdinov. He played the white pieces against Oleg Chernikov. This game started with pawn to e4. Chernikov defended with c5, which introduces the Sicilian defense. Knight to f3, knight to c6, d4 going for center activities. Pawn takes on d4, knight takes on d4, j6. With knight to c3, bishop to g7. Now we have two attacking force on this particular knight. What to do? Bishop to e3. Nezhmetdinov adds one more defender. Knight to f6, bishop to c4. In this position, Oleg castled the short side, keeping the king safe. Bishop to b3 followed, knight to g4. This is a strategic maneuver of the knight. Offers the knight for white to capture with the queen on g4 so that black can take in the center. Queen to h4 followed, staying away from the alignment of this bishop. It is possible the queen remains on that square and black develops the pawn, opening an attack on the queen. Queen to a5. Queen to a5 undefends this pawn. So, white can actually capture that particular pawn. In this position, if white takes the pawn, knight takes on c2 check, bishop takes on c2, bishop takes on c3 check, pawn takes on c3, queen takes on c3 check, king to e2, queen takes on c2 check. This will lead white king to be exposed early if white goes to f3. And if white chooses to come down, this rook becomes inactive. From this position here, Rashid Nezhmetdinov decided to castle the king to safety. Bishop to f6 comes up, attacking the queen. It is normal for an active chess player to take the queen out of this danger. However, where would the queen go to? The queen actually have this particular square to go to. For safety, it is possible the game might end up becoming a draw because there might be a repetition of moves. Bishop come back, attack the queen, queen goes to back to this square and so on. If queen comes down to this square, it is possible that blacks open an attack through this bishop to the queen. And if the queen comes down to this particular square, there can be a kind of queen takes knight. After pawn takes, knight check comes up to pick up the queen. And the game might have a different shape. So in this position, what actually happened in the game was that Rashid Nezhmetdinov decided to sacrifice the queen in just move 12. Let's see the beauty the game has to offer. From here, knight check comes up first. Knight takes the knight on e2, pawn takes on f6. Knight to c3, rook to e8. Knight to d5 followed. In this position, if rook takes that pawn on e4, knight takes the pawn check to the king, king to f8, knight takes the rook on e4. Chernikov spots this and decides to go for rook to e6, defending this pawn. Nezhmetdinov brings in more attacker to pressure this pawn on f6. He played bishop to d4. King to g7, supporting and defending. Rook on a1 to d1. He wants to bring in the rook to support in attacking this particular pawn. Now the pawn is pinned to the king. Here, d6, rook to d3, bishop to d7, rook to f3. Now we have three attackers, the knight, the bishop, the rook. This pawn is only defended by the rook and the king. After bishop to b5, it is possible to have this kind of variation. Knight takes f6, bishop takes the rook on f1, knight to g4 check, open a discovery through this bishop to the king. If king goes to f8, bishop takes the rook on e6. This pawn is pinned and cannot take back. If king to e7, bishop to d5, queen to e1, rook takes the pawn on f7 check, an intermediate move. After king to d8, h3, opening an escape route for this particular king. However, Rashid Nezhmetdinov has another plan. Instead, after bishop to c3, attacking that queen, he gave room for black to retreat the queen back home to d8 to defend this pawn. Knight takes on f6, bishop to e2. Knight takes the pawn on h7 check. Another deflective move. This is very tricky in the sense that if the king takes that knight, rook takes the pawn on f7 check, king to h6, bishop to g7 check, king to h5, bishop takes the rook on e6, queen to e8. If bishop to f6, queen takes that bishop, rook to h7 check. If king goes to g4, rook to h4 is checkmate. Chernikov actually played king to g8. This following variation came to life. Rook to h3, defending that knight. Rook to e5, covering the activity of this bishop along the diagonal. f4 followed, attacking that rook. Bishop takes the rook on f1. King takes on f1, rook to c8. Bishop to d4, b5. Knight to j5, rook to c7. Bishop takes that pawn on f7 check. Rook takes on f7, rook to h8 check. A brilliant move. In this position, king takes the rook on h8, knight takes the rook on f7 check, attacking the queen, the rook, and also forking the king. This comes with a check. After king moves to h7, knight takes the queen on d8. Rook takes the pawn on e7. Knight to c6 comes up. Rook takes the pawn on f4 with check. King to e2. This game ended here from the information I got. I don't really know if black resigned or time went up. Thank you for watching this video. If you've enjoyed and pick up something from this video, do not forget to subscribe to my channel for more. Like this video and share to your friends. See you in the next video.